Hour radio show and podcast. Yes, once again, we have a special episode of both the radio show and podcast where we sit down and catch up with our friend Ron Fleeger. Oh, but ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, we have some extra stuff here with this. We have new music from Fleeger, Ron Fleeger's new project, but even more important, we get to sit down and meet the integral part of Ron Fleeger's projects, his life, and his muse. And what we've learned is a really important part of all this stuff. Sarah Fleeger, we finally get to meet her and chat with her and find out her influences and how she learned and taught herself how to play the accordion. So sit back, relax, put your tray tables in the upright and locked position because we're going to chat with Ron and Sarah Fleeger on the Rec Room Radio Hour radio show and podcast. Hey, welcome back to the Rec Room Radio Hour radio show and podcast because we have another special edition of the radio show and the podcast. We are sitting down once again with Ron Fleeger, but he has brought along his partner in crime, his partner in music, his partner in life, and probably the better part of the duo, he's brought along Sarah Fleeger. So, Ron, welcome back.
Thanks for having us.
Oh my gosh, thank you. And Sarah, thank you for coming along.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh. Now, unlike the last repeat interviewee who brought his musical partner / spouse, I had never met her, but I have met you before.
Yeah.
So this is all good. This is really great. And we're getting back with Ron, and we're going to learn about Sarah because you got some new stuff coming out. You've got is it a new direction for you guys? Is it?
It's a good question. So
okay,
when we started the band, which is just called Fleeger, because of my ego. It's more for product synergy because then we can do acoustic shows and we can do everything else. So, side note, I hate the name just for the record, but it's kind of born with it, so it's nothing I can do with. Anyway, so when we started recording back in February with Luke Schellenberger with no band members. It was just Sarah and I at the time.
Okay, so you're doing all the instruments then? I mean,
nope. That's what started was we went in to look at it and then we recruited members.
It was just going to be us initially. Yep. We had a little bit of time. We had the opportunity to record. Mm-hmm. We had been looking for a drummer for a year at that point, but didn't have it and thought, you know what, that's not going to happen. So why don't we just start? Why don't we just get it going, get it moving?
Okay.
So we went in with no direction and no musicians. It was just like, we'll just lay down what we know and then we'll figure it out from there. Because there was talk of me doing the drums at one point. I'm not a great drummer, so it would have just been a beat keeper kind of thing.
Yeah.
There was one point where we were going to do one of the songs using cat toys. I had actually sat down with a metronome to see how that would work and played it on my thighs and stuff. But at the same time, we ended up being a guest on the East End Basement Jam show, which is live on YouTube and Facebook.
And we'll talk about that later because I'm still not getting the concept of that thing. But go ahead.
We'll talk about that. Yep. So we did a guest spot on there, and one of the co-hosts, Nate Losel, he talked to me afterwards and he said, "Hey, are you looking for a drummer?" And I said, "Yeah." Today.
Isn't it funny how things like that
It's
happen?
so weird how that works out.
Yeah. Wow.
So he ended up initially was just a session player. He just decided we were going to have him as a paid session player.
Yeah.
It went really well, and we got an offer to do a show in June of 2024 of this year. Mm-hmm. But it was a full band show for full originals.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, we can do that. I got a band. I lied. I didn't. So.
Well, wait. So all right. Go on, finish your band story.
Yeah. So basically, what ended up happening was I asked Nate if he would do it, and he was like, "Yeah. Do you know of any bass players? Are you looking for a bass player?" And I said, "Well, yeah, but we hadn't really thought about it." He's like, "I got a guy." So he brings Lucas Cole, who's our bass player. He give me his information. I texted him, and then through a back and forth, I think it was the second text Lucas had sent me. He goes, "Were you in the band Entity?" And I was like, "Yeah." We ended up playing a bunch of shows together 20 years ago. He was in a band called Drive.
Oh, funny.
So a lot of synergy there. And everybody got along right away. Yeah. So we started the band. And back to your original question, though, as far as changing directions, what this band ended up being from the get-go was the ability to play every one of my songs that don't suck.
Yeah. Well, then you're playing all your songs then.
Sure.
Because none of your songs.
The ones you've heard potentially. And I'm probably being self-deprecating. But
oh my gosh, all my songs suck.
Right.
I got you.
There are babies, It's tough to look at them.
But let's go back to forming this band because the bass player, you said you would play not in a band together, but you played in bands.
Yep, multiple shows and
Which speaks to, you go back a ways here
Quite a
in
bit.
the area, and we talked about that on your solo podcast, which is available on all your streaming services.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. So, how cool is that?
It was awesome, and it was refreshing to have those conversations and kind of talk about things I hadn't thought about in a long time.
Yeah.
Because we played at places that don't exist anymore. Tommy's Poorhouse, the King's Inn over 15. But yeah, so that was it was a trip.
So rattle off the members of your band.
Yep. So it's myself, Ron Fleeger, on vocals and guitar. Sarah Gibbs Fleeger on keyboards and vocals.
Okay.
Nate Losel on drums and vocals. And Lucas Cole on bass. Okay. No vocals.
All right. So Nate and Lucas are not here, but Sarah is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she is a full-fledged member of this band.
Yep. And Yep. Absolutely.
All right. So Sarah.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where set the Wayback Machine. Where were you born? Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, born in Williamsport. From Williamsport, stayed here a very long time. I was here the majority of my life up until about 7-8 years ago. Ron and I moved to New York for his job, and then we came back.
Wait a minute. So you were born already attached to him? So what happened here?
No,
we're going way too fast. So so you were born in Williamsport.
Yeah.
Were you musical as a kid?
My whole life, yeah. I grew up with a piano in my house. I was very fortunate. My mom had taken lessons as a kid. She grew up with the same player piano in her house. Mm-hmm. So from the time I was little, my mom would play. And I remember dancing around when she would play. And then I guess when I was about 3, she had finished playing a song. She left the room and my parents heard from the piano the exact notes of the song, the melody she had just been playing, and they were like, oh, snap. So they put me in lessons as soon as they could. I took piano from the time I was 5.
Now, was that a good oh, snap, or oh, snap, we're going to have to pay for lessons now?
No, they were excited. They wanted musical kids, so they were very excited.
Okay, so mom and dad are musical. At least mom is.
Mom is. My dad, he'll claim he isn't musical. He didn't play any instruments, but I learned improvisational songwriting from my father because he walks around literally singing his own tune every day. Most of the songs I will not repeat just to uphold my reputation as a lady, but I did learn very quick, like I said, just improvisational songwriting from him. And my mom is classically musical. My brother's a couple years older than me, and he's a percussionist. So when I was playing piano when I was young, I used to struggle with tempo, and he got all excited to be my metronome and practice along. It was a very musical house growing up.
Now, so all your family, mom and dad are still with us. They're still Dad's still walking around singing his improvisational songs. Mom's still playing?
No, my folks moved to Florida probably 7-8 years ago, and I got the piano. My mom made sure.
They have pianos in Florida.
Yeah, she made sure. And I don't know, my dad, if he comes across, he's grabbed keyboards and a bass, all kinds of instruments because he wheels and deals. He'll see stuff at yard sales. But my mother, I don't know. I think she lost interest over time.
Aww.
Her seeing me do it, I could tell lights her up in the way that nothing else does. My parents are so supportive of music.
So high school, were you in band?
Oh yeah, I did it. Yeah. So I joined. My brother, like I said, a few years ahead of me was in marching band. Mm-hmm. So I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And when I entered my freshman year, he was a senior. So we actually got to be in marching band together.
Now, did you carry the piano, the keyboard in the marching band?
I sure did. No.
Oh, wow. Cool.
No.
So what was your instrument?
Yeah. So in school, I did start on flute in 4th grade. I never wanted to play it. It really wasn't my choice, but I think I was just small and they didn't really know what to do with me, so they stuck me on flute. And then 6th grade, I switched to saxophone. Like, as soon as I got the chance, I was like, I want to play the saxophone. So I played that through school, and that's what I did. Yeah, into 9th grade marching band. Did that for 3 years, and then my senior year, I was lucky enough to be the drum major of the marching band.
Wow.
And I got to do a little throw in, too. I used Nate, 2 years behind me in school, who's in our band now. We were in marching band together.
Isn't it
so
correct?
I knew him from them. We didn't stay in touch, but got into the East End basement jams, and then here we are.
So you played in the school band and all that.
Yep.
Did you play in any garage bands or bands that played out? Nothing like that?
Never did. My brother always did. My folks, when I was probably in middle school, they built an addition onto our house, and my brother had a drum set at the time, so they put extra insulation in the basement because they wanted him to be able to practice there. Right. So his bands would practice there. And I remember peering in through the window and maybe coming and annoying them and that kind of thing. But I never did any sort of garage band thing.
So you were never in a band that played out or even
The Hidden Agenda is about 10 years ago, which was Ron's band. Him and our friend Matt and my brother were the original members. Mm-hmm. Ron was looking for a keyboard player, and my brother threw my name out there. So that's actually how I met Ron, was I joined that band. And then the Hidden Agendas was my first garage band experience, and it was not like anything I had done. It was very jarring.
The Hidden Agendas, were you a professional band out playing?
Yeah.
Or
pretty much throughout the gate.
So you jump into this into a fully functional playing professional band.
And I wasn't even really playing a lot of piano at the time. It was just more yeah, sure, I'll do this, but
Well, had you kept up with the piano over the years, or the keyboards?
Slightly. Having a piano in the house helped because I would go to it at times, but I wasn't sitting down and playing and practicing. But the other thing too is to me, keyboard and piano are different instruments. For me, the piano is, you're the ensemble. I don't need anything else. You know what I mean? And then to go and play keyboard, it's
in a band with an ensemble.
It's different.
Right.
Yeah, they're doing that. So I'm now the flourish, So it took a mindset shift. It's honestly taking until now, till the Fleeger band, for it to be it's just a different thing.
Well, how long are you with the Hidden Agendas then?
I think we were 3 or 4. 3 years, I think, was the total run of the band. Yeah. Yeah. When Scott was, her brother is, was our drummer, but he comes to me and he goes, "Hey, you want a keyboard player? My sister." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, all right." But
everybody's sister plays
keyboard. Yeah, but no, she ended up coming to pretty quickly. I don't know, within a week or two after we started the band.
But then they figured out I could sing. That's the thing. Is I'm a decent keyboard player, but in my opinion, I'm a better singer than I am a player. So I'm able to strive along with both. One sort of legs to the other.
What do you more? Are you now comfortable with the keyboards in the ensemble now? I mean,
super.
Yeah.
Super. Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
What else do you play in the band?
Well, on our recording for Extra Inning, I did an accordion solo.
Like Lady of Spain or what? Yeah, I was
Yeah.
It's, you don't know the old accordion joke.
No.
Every accordion player knows how to play Lady of Spain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No. No. I don't know. I've had one for years. Like I said, my dad would wheel and deal and pick up instruments, and it was about 10 years ago when Mumford and Sons and Monsters and Men of Monsters and Men. Yeah, those bands, and it accordion was really popular, and I was like, oh snap, I think that's for me because it's very quirky, just like I am. And my dad found one. We met a very nice older lady. She had it her entire life. Her and her husband both played. She played a song on it. Her little goodbye to it when we let it go. And then it sat in my closet for 10 years.
Oh my God.
And then Ron wrote Extra Inning. And we were like, it needs something. And we're thinking organ. And I'm going through my keyboard on every single setting. And I found a couple really good ones. And I don't know at what point, but it just became so clear. And then after a band rehearsal, one night I was like, I'm going to do it. And I went upstairs and got the accordion out and learned the solo just like that.
But do you take it on stage with you now?
No, it is ancient, probably from the 50s or 60s, and it is a treasured piece to me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to repair it if something did happen to it, so we're sort of looking into like a little Rode guy. I know they make MIDI ones.
So recording, you can jump on just about any keyboard type instrument and make it work. On stage, are you just primarily keyboards and vocals? Or
for now. Yep. With the band, like the Fleeger project, very much like keys and vocals. Ron and I do like duo stuff, and I'm a big fan of classroom instruments, so I'm accumulating some more of those. I recently got a melodica, and we've played around a little with that. I ideally would have like a little magician's bag of tricks and just like pull,
cool.
fitting for songs, because I think it's fun and weird, and also it does make it more accessible to kids. Like I want kids to see us doing this and be like, oh snap, I could do that.
Well, that's cool. Hidden Agendas, you were with them for 3 years. That project kind of
dissolved in 2016. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you two keep playing out and doing like projects or
no?
We moved, and his job was very intense. It was a lot of hours, and we were in a different state. We also moved right before the pandemic, so we just sort of holed up. I think we both just needed some time. Ron was in a place of like, he had wanted to play his originals for so long, and it just wasn't happening in bands, and he needed a little bit of a break. So he'd practice now and then, but my piano was still in storage at that point.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I touched any keys for like 2 years, to be honest with you.
Oh my. What got you back into doing it? And this may be a question for both of you, because when I first met you, you were just solo, and
you would do the Whiskey Lips too.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. So that's actually what started music again. When we moved back after the pandemic, so we moved back to the area in 2021, the very beginning of it. And intended to play music right from the get-go, but just didn't really jump in right away. And ended up sitting at a wedding of a friend of mine next to Damon, who is my partner in the Whiskey Lips. And he goes, hey, do you want to play some more music again? And we had done a show together, one show a decade prior. And I was like, yeah. So that's how the Whiskey Lips started. It was literally like we got sat next to each other. And I didn't forget about that. Right. So that started it. And then now we have that's a trio with Greg Weigel, Wiley, which is still going.
So Whiskey Lips is
still an active project. Yep. But that's exclusively covers, and there's the improvisational component of what that is. So we just never really got into the original side of things. And I've been a songwriter most of my life. And Sarah and I had wanted to play, and she had gotten ill in 2022. It took her down for about a year and a half, and then at the beginning of this year, it was when we really started playing again and really getting serious. Now, we sing all the time. We live together, so we sing together all the time.
Constant.
The joke is that, like, oh, do you guys just harmonize in the shower? Yeah.
Yes, we do.
That's actually what's happening.
Okay, wow.
No, around 2020, Ron did start to play again. He sort of found his spark, and he'd get his guitar out. I remember getting my keyboard out once at that point, but we were singing every single day together. That was just blooming, and then by the time we came back here, it did take a little bit. We both really wanted to do music. As Ron said, I wasn't able to jump on it immediately, but then as soon as I was healthy, I've been running just straight through it.
Wow.
So,
The true impetus for this project is that we when she was sick last year, she was down, she slept a lot, and I spent a weekend writing music, and that was where some of the songs that we recorded that you're going to be playing today come from. So
cool. Before we play the first song of this episode, do you guys write together now?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
A lot of times I write the basics. I'll write the groundwork for stuff, and if I don't complete it, I'll show it to her first. And even if I've completed it, sometimes she'll have suggestions of what to do, and then other times she's very compositional for the lyrics, and I don't know. It's a lot of collaboration, and the same thing with the band too. So we'll bring stuff to the band and then see what their reaction is. I'm not the guy that ever sits back and goes, "You need to play this note," because I'm not that guy.
Yeah. Ron's usually got things written, but he doesn't want it to just be his. He could write it and he could write every single part and it would be great, but that's not what he wants to do. He wants each person to bring their own piece to the table. We often use the metaphor of like the band being a cake, and like Ron's the base of the cake, you know what I mean? Like the guys are the icing and like everything, all the good stuff inside, bringing it together, and like I'm the little sprinkles on top, like
and the piping,
like we're all very good at what we do, and he wants it to be a collaboration, and that's why this band is so exciting. It's the first project that he's had where it's like everybody loves his songs and is obsessed with his songs and just wants to make them better.
Well, speaking of his songs and making them better, you had mentioned that Extra Innings, you're providing the accordion on that, correct?
Sure enough.
Tell us a little bit about the song.
So that one actually, by the time this premieres, it will have dropped. So it'll be available on streaming as of 11/22, which is today. Extra Inning came about. I did an open mic night in Belfont last 2023, yeah, and there was these older gentlemen that sat down and they played this beautiful folk piece that Hobo Boxcar or something like that. It was like a 40s piece, and I was blown away. I was paralyzed just watching these guys because it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever heard, and I wanted to be part of that conversation. I wanted to do something like that, the Gordon Lightfoot style of folk writing, and I had encountered this story about a baseball team at the turn of the 1900s that was basically just Wyoming State Penitentiary death row inmates.
Oh, wow.
That's how hungry people were for baseball back then. Yeah. And they were a great team, and the star of the team was a gentleman by the name of Joseph Seng. And it is thought that he actually added a full year of life by being a good baseball player because they kept commuting his sentence. So that's where the idea of Extra Inning came in. That's how it resonated. I wanted to, what's the angle here? What's the story? And the story is that through his love of baseball and his abilities, he literally added an extra year to his life.
Wow,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm just super inspired by it. I played baseball as a kid, and obviously growing up in Central PA, they just hand you.
Yeah.
Right. Like she played softball. Actually, we played at the same Newberry Little League, actually. Yeah, it's funny.
Small world is small.
Yeah. Many years apart, and she was the softball, but yeah. So, when you're growing up in Central PA, if you're not from here, basically, as soon as you're of a certain age, male or female, they put a bat in your hand and go, hey, let's see if you can play baseball.
Right.
And I was not great.
Well, good, because if you were great, then you wouldn't be here.
I probably wouldn't be here, right.
So Sarah is on this. She's on all the recordings we're going to listen to today, but particularly the accordion solo. So, how did that come about?
I do play keys on the song as well, but it's just like we knew that the big solo part, like it needed something. Like
always had like a pipe organ in my head.
It needed something big and meaningful. So
somber.
I had thought maybe I could do the accordion, but as I said, it had been sitting in a closet for like 10 years. I really hadn't touched it. But I truthfully had a little bit of a buzz on one night after practice, being very excited about it. And I went right upstairs and I got it out and I got in front of the mirror and messed around a little, and I was able to play the key side, but I could play the piano side and make the bellow go. So I thought at the very least, I can do this. Right. So then over the next couple days, I got on and I looked online at an accordion chart for the side with the buttons on it and tried to discover the pattern. Because there's like 5 rows and they go straight down. There's maybe like 15 on each side. So there's a lot to work with. But I did figure out I only needed 3 chords. And heaven with us, those 3 buttons were all right on top of each other.
Oh, wow.
Through some sort of magic. So it was just meant to be like...
What she's saying is that she learned how to play an entire instrument by watching the internet videos. But
join the club, that's the new thing.
We're fortunate that these things are accessible to us.
Gosh,
yeah, how about it?
Yeah.
So, by that stroke of luck, and also it came from such a deep and meaningful place. It's like I wanted to push myself to do something meaningful for the song.
Yeah. Wow.
And of course, we recorded it at the now defunct Blackberry Alley Studios, which that's another topic completely. But Luke had never recorded, and he's done Celtic bands, Celtic Wood and Wire, and just all kinds of stuff. Yep. So it was the first time he'd ever recorded an accordion.
Yeah.
He was really excited about it. We bring this big antique accordion in, and he's just eyes agape, ready to go with it. And it was you did it in 2 takes.
Well, yeah, it worked out well. I did sort of practice take. And as I said, I started in front of a mirror. So I set up my phone on a tripod with my camera, like not recording, but just so I could see myself. Yeah. We did that first take. I'm like, awesome, good to go for the second. I get like 1-2 bars into the solo, and my phone timed out and turned off. Ron happened to be recording me, so you see me go, oh, because I'm now on my own with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
that's the take.
It was the take.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It was emotional. It was the take. Yeah.
It was imperfect in a good way, because there's a part where it sounds like there's a breath in the bellow.
Yeah.
But
it's like a gas.
Yeah, it added this human element that you can't make.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing it. So let's tee it up. Let's play it. This is Extra Inning from now. Is this Ron Fleeger? Is this Fleeger?
Fleeger.
So this is Fleeger.
Yep.
Okay.
Anything that's this full band we're billing as Fleeger.
Okay.
So there we go.
All right. You guys switching all these projects. I can't keep up with you guys.
I know.
You and Keith Randall. I can't keep up with you guys. This is Fleeger. Extra Innings right here on the Rec Room Radio, our radio show and podcast.
Had an extra inning, and I played my heart out. I played my heart. I played it out. I had a love, a rival by one. The game I played, and the girl on my tongue. By my hand, her husband died. Why the state gave me eye for an eye. Wyoming skies with the wind on our face, the sun in our eyes, and the dirt on the plate. The worst there's been, but the best you've seen. My death row mates and our baseball dreams. I had an extra inning, and I played my heart out. I played my heart. I played it out. The grandstand swelled with the sound of their cheers, but one by one our team disappeared. With each game won, my death delayed. Behind closed doors, the warden got paid. I had an extra inning, and I played my heart out. I played my heart. I played it out. As I wake on my final day, I close my eyes and the memory replays the gift of time for a walking dead man. Had one last year with the bat in my hand.
Extra innings from Fleeger. Has this new project inspired you to really write some new material, particularly for this project?
Yep, that's actually just started recently, which is exciting. Now, that's not anything that we're recording at this point. I'm just in the early stages with that. But pulling some of the different influences from all four of us, and looking at what everybody listens to. Sarah and Lucas are very similar in terms of their listening. They both love Dave Matthews Band, but they also both listen to metal. So it's a nice combo. And then Nate and I are both musical sluts, so we listen to everything.
Yeah.
I do really like pop. I'm a big fan of 90s country because every morning when I was a kid, my mom would have 90s country. She put WILQ on the radio every morning of my life. Like that was my getting ready for school music. So it's just such a core part of me. My brother was into like punk and ska, so I got into that. I've really been all over the place. And then Ron is a big metal guy, and he's a big, just bigger music, like bands of big sounds. So together we found bands like Devin Townsend and acts
Deer
like
Hunter.
that. Yeah, the Deer Hunter. So it combines, like you get the pop, but these men are writing full scores, and in their best, they are playing them with orchestral arrangements and everything like that. So I guess you could say I like big stuff. Yeah, I was missing something that I didn't really realize I was missing. When I was able to start doing music with Ron, it started out like coffee house stuff. Him and I, just me singing, because I was also still really scared to do it at the time. And I really enjoyed it, and it was super fulfilling. And then as things sort of came along, as soon as I heard drums on one of the tracks that we recorded, I was like, oh. And then we initially did, I think, Ron, Nate, and I, like a couple like trio shows, and Nate played cajon, and I was like, okay, there it is. I was missing that ensemble feeling. So with the band, absolutely, yeah.
The band kind of came from, your past and all that, but how does this East End basement jam thing? And tell me a little about that. Tell the audience a little about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to promote that for us. Nate, our drummer, Nate Losel, and then Tyler Crosley, as well as Eric, the camera guy, host a weekly show on Facebook Live, Wednesdays at 8 p.m., as well as on YouTube, and it's available to stream all the time there. And it's basically just a format where they make jokes and they play songs. That's it.
It started out just like Nate and Tyler doing the dang thing, and they, let's throw it up and let's stream. And they did that a few times, and then I guess a week they didn't do it, and people were like, where were you? We missed you, and everything like that. So it started out as, I believe they called it the quarantine sessions, because it was like during that time.
I was going to ask you, did this grow out of the pandemic?
So they just kept on doing it, and
both professional musicians, and Tyler's also in a band called Trip the Light, awesome local band as well.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a good. He's a guitar player for Trip. And they both are perennial musicians as well. So they lost all their gigs in 2020, like everybody else did, that was playing actively. And so they just did this as a reprieve from that, and it's still going 4 years later. And
that's crazy. I didn't realize that it was going that long.
Yeah, they've been doing it for years at this point.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what it was. I'd seen it pop up on the Bookface and YouTube, and I'm like, what is this? So, okay.
And it's a very entertaining thing that they do, and that's actually how I met them. I won a turkey last year. They do a raffle. Yep.
Yes, I remember that.
So you and I actually were having coffee at Buzzsaw when they presented the gift to me with Eric, the camera guy, in a full turkey getup.
Yeah, some guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's part of this whole.
Yep.
They're just goofy, fun-loving dudes. Like, they like to spread music and laughter and just let people all have fun in a silly little format together. Like, it's
so it's not like an interview show.
Nope.
It's just you just get together and riff.
Yep.
Yeah, they go on and play. Like, usually the two of them, like, sometimes they pick I think they do pick their songs before. Last week, the one they did was, like, novelty songs, and it was, like, they picked each other's songs as kind of a surprise. So that one was sort of goofier, but they'll do themes certain times. They do always have a country song of the week. I always look forward to that because Nate puts on a cowboy hat. It's just big fun for everybody.
Yeah.
But like, Ron's been on there as a guest, as he mentioned. They then
also they have guests on there too.
Every so often.
Yeah,
Yep.
And Ron and I were a guest on there a couple months later.
Wow.
I think we've been on there. They have people from Trip the Light. We're actually going to be helping them out with their Christmas special. They're going to be recording. We've kind of become peripheral and helping out a little bit.
Thing that I've encountered. It's just like I said,
check it out.
fun-loving
They do
dudes,
multi-camera. It really is
very
the production quality is very high for what it is, and it's becoming very successful. It grows every week, and it's awesome.
All right, but it doesn't sound like that's
it's fun, and it's also very interactive. They'll tell you, everybody. Like, it was recently Eric's birthday. Everybody tell Eric happy birthday in the comments, and they love.
So they have that whole.
They set it up live, so they're responding to the fan comments as they're happening.
Okay,
it's completely interactive.
Yeah, definitely.
And what's it called again?
East End Basement Jams.
East End Basement Jams.
You can find it on the Bookface. Wednesday nights at 8.
Wednesday nights at 8. All right, so we'll plug that.
Yeah.
All right, so you had mentioned that you had recorded with Luke down at Blackberry Alley, and that's kind of on hiatus at this point. So now you're down with Pat Motto.
Pat Motto, PM Soundscapes.
Yeah.
And Pat is a great singer-songwriter himself, great performer, and he recently really got serious into the studio side of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like obsessive serious, obviously, and you've seen kind of like some of the toys and stuff.
Yeah.
And he really knows his stuff. So we went down there just to tour the studio, and actually I took my guitar just as we'll see if we want to lay down something. I was going to lay down like, just something that we weren't planning on recording somewhere else, and ended up breaking ground on a full-length album and started the basics there, which is going to be 11 tracks. It's a full-length, and to me, it's sort of a compilation of, I don't want to say like favorites, I guess, but it's people that have told me it's their favorite songs.
Okay, so you got to re-record stuff that you've already recorded?
Some stuff's being re-recorded. Some stuff is brand new. We have a song that we just wrote called 1.21. That's going to be on the record. And then there's some stuff that I've written over the years that just never got recorded. There's a song on there called Autumn Haze that I wrote 20 years ago and I kind of abandoned. And Sarah had told me that it was her favorite song I've written and brought it to the band. Yeah, and I brought it to the band after laying down the basics, and both of them literally texted me and went, why were you hiding this from us? Like, I wasn't hiding it. It's just there's a lot of songs. I don't know what people are going to like because I can't see outside of myself with that. That's why I need the collaboration.
That reciprocity of either just somebody else just like, hey, this is good, or it doesn't work. Let's try this.
Right. So, what can we do to work on? And that's part of the collaborative effort.
So what you're recording down with Pat is full band.
Full band.
So the guys are, Sarah's there. Now, are you tracking everything, or are you playing stuff live?
Yep, tracking everything individually. Okay. Kind of building it the same way we did it at Blackberry, where we started with just the acoustic tracks and then the lead vocals, because I feel like if I can get a really good acoustic version, everything on top of that is just sweetening.
Right.
It just happens to be
kind of the cake analogy.
Exactly, the cake analogy, which is, it's funny because we're going to work that. You are. We're actually going to work that into the artwork as well, the idea of a cake, so that's going to be cool. And I'm excited about that stuff because I'm always a big fan of artwork as part of the overarching narrative. But so that's exciting. We so far we're about 3 weeks into that.
Yeah.
We have a lot of time right now, which is good. Pat's doing a great job. I'm really happy with everything.
Ron's done the most work ahead of it and put the legwork and the foundation and everything like that.
And that takes a long time.
Just to clarify, the tracks that we're playing today, you did not record down at Pat's. All the stuff down at Pat's, I mean, you've only been doing this 3 weeks with them.
Yep. And we don't have a release date for that yet. It'll be 2025 sometime. We're hoping to have it tracked by the end of the year. Yeah. But we're doing 2 or 3 sessions a week, and it's 6-7 hours.
You're a machine. Well, I mean, you're down there a lot.
Yeah.
From what I've seen.
Yeah, we were down there late last night.
Oh my gosh! We'll get the next song we're gonna play is "Happy Transmission," and I remember this song when we did our podcast, our solo podcast up at my home studio. Yep. This was one that you had written recently,
pretty quickly before that. At that point,
I think you had debuted it, or it was the first time you played it, and that was recorded. This version was recorded down with Luke down at Blackberry.
Yep, everything that we were playing today was recorded with Luke.
Okay.
Yep.
So Happy Transmission has a kind of a how should we put this? A weird backstory to it.
It does.
So kind of tee it up.
Sure. So the song itself has its roots from when we moved to New York and we weren't playing music. I encountered a news story randomly, and the news story, the headline was "Happy Transmission." And for whatever reason, I was like, wow, that's a really weird phrase. And I looked at it, and it turned out that there was an elderly couple in Eastern PA that was found mysteriously both dead at the same time by their postman. And the story unfolds a little bit further, where it turns out there was a hand-carved sign on the front of the house that said "Happy Transmission." And this elderly gentleman had been saying that one of the factories locally had been putting what he called nighttime tremors overnight, every night, and nobody listened. And as far as I know, the mystery was never solved as to how they died. If they died naturally, if they committed suicide, if somebody killed, I really don't know. Yeah. But the story really resonated, and it was this idea that this guy kept telling people that he was hearing this stuff. And it could have been dementia. It could have been real. I don't know. Yeah. And then to boot, when we moved to where we live, we actually live across from a factory. So I had really reconnected with the story.
Yeah.
And that the weekend that I had sat down and I started writing again, this was the first thing I'd written. It was the first thing I'd written in a couple of years. Yeah. I started playing a riff, and immediately I was like, "Happy Transmission!" Like this is the song I've been waiting to write for this, and it had been like 6 or 7 years at that point.
Because when you threw the title out before I knew it, I thought it was about a car.
Right. Yeah. Happy Smiley Transmission.
Yeah, I got this thing tuned up right.
Yeah.
Beep. And Sarah, are you on this one?
Absolutely.
Vocals and keys. Yep.
Yeah.
And Nate and Lucas are on this as well. So.
Okay, so they were down at Blackberry with you. So Fleeger
formed
while we were making it.
Said that you had formed the band so you could go down and do it.
Yep.
All right. See, I listen. It just takes me a while to catch up.
That's all right.
It's a bit disjointed, so you're not.
Yeah.
So now, so we're going to listen to Fleeger, "Happy Transmission" right now on the Rec Room Radio Hour radio show and podcast. Take it away.
Sounds below, bellows from the gallows. Tried to warn them, but they couldn't hear it. Put a curse outside my house. Happy transmission. Your night tremors kept me awake. Call the postman, he found our letter. Your night tremors kept me awake. They kept me awake. See me and Rose and our crusade. Now they'll be made to print our names. And as I battled against this industrial madness, I hand carved a sign for you. It says happy transmission. Your night tremors kept me awake. Call the postman, he found our letter. Your night tremors kept me awake. Now I paid my fines, yes, I'm happy to abide, but I won't be brushed aside. Now the shots are fired, and I'm running out of breath. I'll make my loudest statement yet. Oh, happy transmission. Your night tremors kept me awake. Call the postman, he found our letter. Your night tremors kept me awake.
Happy Transmission. Kind of a disturbing song, a little bit, but it's
dark.
still, very dark.
Yeah.
Very dark. But still, it's good. I mean, and again, it just speaks you as a song, because you can go from, something like Turn on the Sun to something like that. I think
Ron
it
also
speaks-
has the gift of channeling and being a storyteller, as he mentioned, the story of Extra Inning and the story of Happy
Yeah.
Transmission. I think, truly, he's channeling them. They were stories that did not get told, it's bringing a new healing for everyone to hear it in this capacity.
I admire songwriters like that, because because we have a number of really great storyteller songwriters in this area, and I admire people like you and
Dave Palizzi.
Kevin Regan, Dave Palizzi, yeah, Kevin Regan,
Yeah, Kevin.
He's another good
Kevin's
story.
fantastic.
What else is coming up for you guys?
Sure. So we're obviously recording the full length right now. We'll be putting that out in 2025, both in physical and streaming. We'll do a big CD release party. We're talking about doing that maybe at Jeremiah's next year. Maybe get some people involved, So that's coming up. Playing in the Whiskey Lips, that's a completely separate thing, but that's, keep an eye on social medias for that. Yeah, I mean, we're doing a lot of duo shows, Sarah and I. And it's fun because the duo shows are cuter, I guess.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
I mean, Ron and I, I'll say it, we're a cute couple. Everybody tells us, oh my God, y'all are the cutest
You are
couple.
a cute couple.
Thank you. I'm not just saying it. So people like that. You see us, and we clearly really, really care for each other, and that comes through. We've been playing music together for over 10 years. So you bring all those things together, and I know it. We're fun to watch, and it's nice to have just couples in the crowd looking at you wow, you're in love and we're in love. I don't know, man. It's just special. It's so different than anything else we've done.
Yeah.
I'd never really thought of that. If you're a couple on stage and you look out there and you see somebody with your music, and it's like, okay, it's not only the reciprocity of music and that, but just we love each other, and we're okay, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I hadn't either. It's something
It's
that
new.
started happening when we were playing shows, and we realized this is even different,
Yeah.
because it's when you're the full band, it's a rock band, and rock bands do what rock bands do. But yeah, I don't know. It's been
So, Sarah, it sounds like you're having a blast.
Oh my
with
God. This is the most fun. I wanted to do music with Ron. I mean, obviously that's how I met him. And for life being the way it was, it didn't happen for a while. And he started up and was able to start playing. And I wasn't at the time, but I kept my little head up and I kept faith. And he set it up in such a way that I was just able to grab along to the train that he already had going. He pulled that hand out for me, swept me up, and I'm not getting off the train.
Good for you. Well, I hope you don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the podcast and now the radio show podcasting, we have some standard questions we ask. We've already gotten his. So Sarah, is there one piece of music gear, amp, guitar, keyboard, tuner, I don't know, that you got rid of that you want back?
When I was a kid, we had a toy piano in my attic. That was my mom's. I assume it was her grandparents. Wooden, old as heck toy piano. And it was just one of those things that was like always there. But it just never crossed my mind when my parents moved. Oh. So I go online and I look. The ones that are like it, they're never in as good a condition as ours was. It just sat for so long, but I'll get one. That's why I said about like my love of class instruments. That's got to be what inspired it. Is that little thing? Yeah.
Oh my god! So it's like a regular toy piano, like the little Schroeder thing.
A child's one, yeah, that had maybe 10, 15 toys. But it was wood, like a nice one, you know. But it was like little bells. Yeah.
Oh, funny!
Some of the effects we used on Turn on the Sun are based on that. It's like the keyboard side is supposed to be toy piano.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like a cat's walking on it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What's your primary instrument? I mean, but like brand, you know, what's your specific primary instrument right now? Either stage or recording or whatever. What are you using now? Like a rig rundown.
Oh, yeah. I have a Novation Mini for my keys. It's a nice little synth. I've had it a long time. I'm only just starting to dig into it. When I got it, it came with a vocoder. So I've been starting to play around with that.
So what is this, like circa 1970s stuff or what? I mean, is this like a vintage?
No, it's pretty new. It's
Vocoders, man. I know that stuff since the early 80s.
They've made newer Novas. Yeah. They redo them all the time. This one's from like 2013. It is considered, I think, like the second or third newest one. So it doesn't have like all the get-ups of the new stuff, but I'm not a synth guy. Like, I've never been on that side of it. This thing was given to me as a gift by our previous band member who knew I needed an upgrade. I was playing a Yamaha keyboard, just like a little, and knew I needed an upgrade and got me this, but I only ever played it. So it's only been with the Fleeger project that I'm like, all right, girl, you got to sit down and like, we're going to go through these sounds. Like I said, I've got the vocoder out playing with that. So I'm really getting into, I love, you know, to play a key thing along with the song, but I think like another, you know, a second key to get more effects stuff, because to me it's fun. Like, I'm starting to play with it, and it's like surprise. So
you're gonna have a keyboard set up like Rick Wakeman.
I'm gonna be in the spinny chair just all around me.
I want the cape too.
Yeah.
If you're going Rick Wakeman, you need to wear the cape.
Well.
Yeah. Maybe not quite
I will be there front row when you.
She'd wear the cape too.
Yeah, and she would make it work.
Yeah, she absolutely would.
Okay, well, and I want to hear the vocoder sometime because it was kind of there was a little bit of humor in that because in vocoders anymore, but
very rarely.
It's cool though, because like when I first got it, there's a few settings. Like I said, I'm still learning it, but you get the one that's like it's ELO, and like that's what it is.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
It is. It's very ELO.
Big influence on us.
That's the one people think of, and it is. It's such a cool sound, and that works for some stuff. But like, there's a few settings on there where it's like weird and spooky and like it's fun. Yeah.
One of the things to side note with ELO and Jeff Lynne, you know, big influence on us in general. But as a songwriter, one of the things I really always loved about him is that he takes these classic arrangements and then does really non-traditional things with them. So, you know, you get these like doo-wop melodies inside this weird orchestra, inside this weird electronic sound. So that's something I really love about that.
Cool. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you wanted to talk about?
We have the final single is coming out soon of our current run of singles of the 4. Okay. So today, 11/22, we released Extra Inning. Okay. On December 6th, we are going to be releasing the final one in that run, which is Saying Goodbye. I believe that'll be the last one that we're going to be playing on the podcast here as well. That one is one of the oldest songs that we currently play. I wrote that in 2008.
Oh, wow.
And been kicking it around. I believe you played an early version of it.
I played an early version of it, and you played it. You played it during our podcast, and I think I even think before you and I had met and done the podcast, I said this has got a Billy Joel vibe to it. And I learned, and that's a huge.
Big influence on it's my biggest influence, and then our drummer as well. That's his favorite artist growing up. So that was a big connection when we started hanging out.
Yeah, cool.
And Lucas likes him as well too. I mean, so does Sarah. Everybody likes Billy Joel. Who doesn't like Billy Joel?
So where can we find out of what's coming up with you guys? Keep up with you guys because I get confused with all this stuff you guys are doing.
Sure. So the first thing that I'll plug is we are launching a website, an actual website at fleegermusic.com, Fleeger. That is being designed by Infinity Design Studios. It's a local gentleman by the name of Pat Kennedy, who is creating that for us right now. We also are on the social media stuff. You've got your Facebook. We have a dedicated YouTube channel. We're on Instagram. I refuse to join X. Or any of the peripherals.
You can join Blue Sky now.
Yeah, I know.
We're Fleeger across the board.
Okay.
We use that as an umbrella, so that's the easiest way to...
Yep. But most of the social media, so I think she started a TikTok page as well, but I haven't done anything with that.
How about MySpace? You on that?
No, nothing on Fleeger, but there is a probably an entity page for that.
You have to set the Wayback Machine to get that, probably.
Yeah, jeez, man.
Because really, it is. It's tough to keep up with you. You personally, but now with this whole project, now he's
he's a freight train.
Yeah. Oh, he is. You really are, man.
Thank you. It's so everything is really kind of fallen under two umbrellas now at this point. It's either the Whiskey Lips, which I play with Damon and Wiley, and then everything else is Fleeger. And it's just whether it's going to be myself, Sarah and I as the duo.
We always post if it's a full band show or if it's just Ron and I. But if it's Fleeger, you're getting some configuration of the four of us.
Cool. But we're really trying to do mostly band shows next year. I got a lot of places. We just booked the Arrowhead Bar and Restaurant in Milton. That's a duo show. Yeah, there's a lot of smaller places that need more intimate stuff.
But
we're still going to play.
Anywhere we can get the band in, we like to get the band in.
Well, I contend that Ron does more musically before 8 a.m. than most of us do all day. So, so thank you for taking the time out of your super busy schedule.
Thank you for having us
to come up here. And Sarah, it is really nice to actually sit down and get to know you a little better. I've met you in passing a couple times, so you are. I'm glad you're with him, but I think probably equally as glad you're with him, not only just in life but also as well.
Thank you.
Because you've got an enthusiasm for this that is palpable. So great stuff coming from you guys. Thank you again, and thank you for your support of me, but also for the radio show, the radio station, everything. And and Pat and I were talking. You cross promote everybody, man. It's geez, all this stuff. You're a great advocate for local people.
Thank you.
So we thank you, and because we're all in this together.
Yeah, it's a scene, man. And
I find you inspiring for the same reason. Yeah. We're all kind of on the same mission to bring everybody up together.
Exactly. Yep. A high tide rises all boats, and I'm a strong advocate for that. Yep. All right, so we're going to say goodbye to Ron and Sarah with their song "Saying Goodbye." So
great segue.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, and we'll see you guys next time on the Rec Room Radio Hour radio show and podcast. Take it away.
Was a gambler, a scratch up ticket sampler, pissing all his money away. And even though I saw him every day of my life, well, I never had the words to say. And nothing, we were all alone, and a tear rolled down his eyes. We knew we'd never get it, we were always crazy living. I could finally start to change my mind when I was saying goodbye. Oh, saying goodbye. That Saturn was a bastard, couldn't live much faster, always looking out for himself. Lazy, cheating, drinking, always overthinking, even when it wasn't inheriting wealth. And every word that came out of his mouth, it was nothing but a pack of lies. Even though he stiffed me, I felt a piss of missing. I knew a part of me had died when I was saying goodbye. Oh, saying goodbye. Oh, nah, saying goodbye. Mistakes to realize that we do the same. We can't afford a grudge for dragging into mud or using our anger as a crutch. That Saturn was a bastard, an etiquette disaster, flaunting his inherited wealth. My papa was a gambler, a scratch a ticket sampler, paying for the prize himself. And even though they diss him, Ron now hold a special place inside. 'Cause for all the crazy living. Yeah, I know that they're forgiven for all the crazy living. Yeah, I know that they're forgiven for all the crazy living. Knew a part of me had died when I was saying goodbye. Oh, say goodbye. Oh, nah, 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 say goodbye. Goodbye. When I was saying goodbye.
Saying goodbye, brand new stuff from Fleeger. We so want to thank Ron and Sarah Fleeger for stopping by the WXPI radio studios in the historic and majestic Pajama Factory and getting us caught up with what they're doing, but even more important, so we can learn a little bit about Sarah. What a great person, what a great couple, what a great team, and what great music they're putting out. Hey, if you like what we're doing here at the Rec Room Radio Hour, jump on over to WXPIRadio.org, maybe throw a little financial contribution to our radio station. Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you're listening to the podcast, this episode was recorded at WXPI Radio Studios and mixed and edited at Airline Studios with Roxy by my side. Hey, thanks to the Clark McLean Band for letting us use their song theme for not only the radio show but the podcast. I am, as ever, your humble and contrite host, Michael Lundy, asking you, as always, to please don't fret. Stay tuned and play nice. Until we meet again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors. Bye-bye.